Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are here. Welcome to Bob's Corner. We are here. This is episode 14. Who I became after grief. Who I became after grief. I want to thank you all for showing up here. Just thankful for all the continual support, man. I always love and thank you guys for showing up every week, week in and week out. Um, First and foremost, what I want to do is give us applause. A round of applause for being here another week. We in 2026, man. January 14th, man. This month is going. It was going kind of fast. Now it seems like it's starting to hit that January slowdown, man. Where 1 month becomes two. It feels like. So we just want to give ourselves a round of applause for being here, man. First and foremost, man, I just want to thank y'all for showing up this week, man. This is episode 14. And today we're gonna really focus on who I became after grief. I'm gonna speak to my testimonies and the things that I've gone through, and each and every season that grief strikes. I'll let you guys know how I navigated that and how I turned out after that. First, what I want to do starting off, so I want to give a rest in peace, man, to a former classmate. He was an upperclassman. He was ahead of me, man. But shout out to Jeray, man, and his family, man, and rest in peace, brother. Uh, Played on the football team with Jeray in high school, man. He wasn't my road dog, but him, Tracy, the other guys, man, upperclassmen, man, those guys were cool, man. And on the football team, man, we was all like brothers. I remember those days, man. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I was in the ninth or 10th grade playing JV, man, and those Saturday football games, man. They used to be fun, man. We all used to have fun on those days, man, and that's where we all kind of connected and bonded, man. And that's where I really got to know who Jeray was, man. But he was a special guy back then, man. Like I said, he was an upperclassman, but he was a person that you could talk to. Like he never used his upperclassmen against us, unless he was with the other guys. They were just kind of poking fun at us, man. But Dre was a cool guy, man. From what I remember about Dre, man, I haven't seen Dre in decades, probably, man. I'll be honest with you. I think the last time I probably seen Dre was like maybe like some high school stuff, I think. But it was been a long time since I bumped into him, man. But I see that he got kids and a beautiful family, man, that he leaving behind, man. So, I definitely just want to give a shout out to him and his family, man, and hope you guys, are holding on to each other. I hope you guys are loving each other. Uh, I'll give you guys the details that I found out. That I found out from his Facebook page, man, about his funeral arrangements. If that's something that you guys could attend, bear with me 1 second. Look, let me go slow. One second. So if you guys can see it, this is the funeral arrangements for Jeray. Looks like it's going to be Thursday, January 29th, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is when you could come visit. And I'm sure it'll be a funeral after that. It says beginning at 4. Family and friends can gather to share memories, man, and just heavy heart, man, for those involved, man, for those close to him, man. From what I remember about Jeray, man, Jeray was a good guy, man. Just real funny. Always had that smile on his face, man. He just always had this. He was, I don't know, he was Jeray, man. Like he was Jeray to me, man. Cool guy, man. Just kind of his own man, though. You know what I'm saying? And he repped for himself, man. hopefully those, like I said, those who are close to him are, leaning into each other, man, loving each other. So if you guys can make it out Thursday, January 29th, from 3 to 4 is the visitation for Jeray's funeral, man. So again, big shout out, big hugs and love, and thoughts and prayers goes out to his family for sure. So kind of switching gears a little bit. I want to speak to when it's your turn to deal with grief. It's like it has an expiration period sometimes. You know, it's like people expect. I wouldn't even say people expect it. It's like they don't have any expectations because they know not what's bothering them. You know what I'm saying? When grief is bothering you and solely you, you'll wonder why. You'll wonder when enough is enough. Like I'll admit sometimes I'm tired of being a strong friend. I don't want to be the strong friend all the time. That badge of honor is something that I don't really want to wear. That people like, oh, you one of the strongest people I know. Shit, I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the strongest person you know. Like, because to me that tells me that you've seen me deal with a lot. You've seen me deal with some real heavy things. Like I don't want to be the strongest person you know. But unfortunately for some people, I am that. And if this is something that God wants me to wear, this is something that God's want me to go through, then this is something that I have to wear. I have to shoulder it, I gotta put it on, and I gotta strap in, man. This is God's work. So I can never complain about it, but if I had a choice, I don't want to be the strong friend all the time. It's tough carrying, man, every day and day in day out, man. It's tough carrying that, man. But like I said, if I know that it's God's order, God's will, then I'll wear that. As long as I'm still here trucking, as long as I'm still here striving and being who I am, then I can do nothing but thank God for this, for where I am in life, what He's done for me, and where He's taking me. But shout out to all the strong cornerstones in every friendship group. Shout out to the strongest person in every friendship group. That's been through a lot, and hopefully you had those same friends to be there to comfort you in your time of need, because we need that. The strongest friends need the most love because we the ones that go through the most. Like out of all my friends, I've probably experienced the most tragedy in in every circle of friends that I have. I've experienced quite a bit. So if you have a friend that that's been through some tough things, man, that that's been through some tough moments, spread some love to that friend. Call that friend. Check on that friend. Text that friend. Hey man, you all right? Like man, I just thinking about you, man. You good? Like I know, man. I know stuff get heavy for you, man. I just want to check on your mental state sometimes, man. Like I'm glad I got friends like that. That'll just call me about the blue. Like man, I'm just checking your pulse, man. Like that means the world, man. For a strong friend, that means the world. This is something that a lot of us don't choose. We don't choose when the people that we love us most get to leave. Like we don't get to pick and choose that date. We don't get to pick and choose that time. Like we have to endure this. Like we have to go through. We have to find the best solution in order to get through each time it happens, each day, each month, each week. We have to figure these things out. And a lot of times we figure these things out on our own. I've been blessed to find channels where I can express myself, and I can say how I feel, so I can put it somewhere. So I ain't just carrying everything with me all the time. I'm able to unpack some of this stuff. So call your friend sometime and ask them, like, hey, how are you feeling right now? You need to talk about something, man. You need to get something off your chest. That to me is the most important thing, man. So don't forget, man, always check on your strong friends. And if you are the strong friend that's watching this, then my heart goes out to you. And I'm letting you know you don't have to be strong all the time. You don't. Next, I wanna discuss sometimes, when I anticipated what being healed would feel like, it's not necessarily the version that I envisioned originally. I thought me healing would be me living differently, happy, joyful, stoic. I thought you would be able to see a smile on my face all the time. I could wear it all the time. I thought when I was healed that I wouldn't go back to a grieving state. I thought that when I was healed, I was able to move forward and move on. I wouldn't go backwards. But what I really found out is just because you healed, it doesn't mean that scab can't grow back. Doesn't mean that wound will be completely healed. You'll be able to put a band-aid over it. You could put a gauze over it, but you don't necessarily know. You don't know when that's gonna happen. It's never completely healed. It's like when you break a bone, you get a cast put on it, and you feel like once you heal, it'll never break again. But it can. It can. And if you're in the early stages of losing a loved one, if you're in the first year, first couple years of losing a loved one, that bone is gonna break again. That scab is gonna grow back. That band-aid gonna be ripped off again. And you'll think to yourself, like, I'm never gonna get over this. But that's not what healing looks like though. Healing isn't a once it's done, it's over. Once I reach this point, then I'm over. No. You'll fluctuate. You'll go back down, you'll come back up. You'll go back down, you'll come back up. It's a roller coaster. It's a literal roller coaster. You just never know when it'll strike. I thought me being healed, me being 30 years past, me being 10 years past, me being 15 years past, I thought that I would be in a better position, a better mental state, but it ebbs and flows. You just never know. Healing is not what it's not what it looked like when I envisioned it. When I envisioned getting past it, when I envisioned healing and being a different version of myself, I didn't envision that it'll fluctuate as much as it does. Now I'm thankful it doesn't drop as low as it used to. I'm able to get away from that. I'm able to work away from that. But it happens. It still happens. It still hits me. It still happens. And at times, I wish there was more that I could do to combat it. I'm learning. I'm learning my triggers. I'm learning ways to be aware of when it's coming. Because that's the thing. You have to be aware. Try to be as aware as possible when it's coming because it's a sneak attack. Grief is such a sneak attack. And sometimes the healed version of me don't see it coming. It's like that defensive end coming off my blind side. I don't see it coming. So you got to have a strong left tackle. You got to have a strong left tackle of awareness with good awareness, with quick feet, with a wide range to block that grief when it's coming in, so you can hit that healed receiver in the end zone for a touchdown. You have to be able to be aware. Being aware is the biggest thing. And being aware comes with being healed. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play a segment from good brother TD Jakes, man. It's from a book that he got called, a book out that he got called. It's called Crushing. This came out over the summer. Um, so I'll let you guys check it out, man. Play the segment by him.
How much blood it costs. Your grandkids will grab your legs, your wife will hold your arms, and nobody will know what it costs you to be the hand they held. Nobody knows the blood it costs to be who we are. Whether you're Mother Teresa or Annie Lee Johnson, it costs you something to be there for anybody. It costs you something to be the woman you are. And nobody knows what it costs. And so you'll always be judged and undervalued and underappreciated by those trolls who hit you up on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and say the most ridiculous things out of jealousy or envy and strife, and they don't know that they're writing from one sufferer to another one. It costs all of us something. Not just the successful, the downtrodden, the person, the single mother who's got 3 kids and left alone in a 2-bedroom apartment, and you're working 2 jobs, making minimum wage. Nobody knows that you're standing there smiling at a checkout counter and your feet are hurting, your back is aching, and your kids are waiting on you when you get home and you are tired and exhausted and at the end of your rope. The person who goes and treats person after person and walks up and down the aisles in the hospital, medicating not just the nice, but the mean people and the rude people and the obnoxious people. And that you're putting your life in danger for somebody who doesn't even seem to appreciate you. Nobody knows the blood that it costs for you to be who you are. And when I write to Crushing, I write to every person who ever gave up some of themselves for somebody else. And nobody ever even recognized. No awards, no trophies, no Grammys, no Emmys, no Pulitzers, no New York Times feature. Only God knows how much you were crushed to make the wine you have become.
Yeah, so shout out to the good brother TD Jakes, man. I'm actually reading a book from him now. It's called Don't Drop the Mic, man. So, definitely some real encouraging and powerful words in there. You guys not familiar with his collection, check it out. That brings me to my next point, which is the title of the show today, man. And that's who I became after grief, man. And who I became after grieving, man. Me being 38 years old now, I definitely went through some changes. I started as an adolescent, man. I remember who I was as a child, man. I was a stingy child. Uh, I was alone. I was by myself a lot, man. I was kind of a loner. You know what I'm saying? The I could tell that I was always like looking for love, though, man. That's something that's followed me since I've been a child, man. It's always a person that's been looking for love. Like I love to love people. Like no matter who you are, I just love to love people. I love establishing relationships with people. That's why I think of how vindictive people can be in this life and how snakish people can be. It's like I can never really understand it because my true nature is to love. My true nature is loyalty. My true nature is to nurture and care for the people that surround me, man. So when the older I've gotten and the more that I can see how devious people can be, and a lot of times it's for money or power or status or something of that nature, man. A lot of it stems from those things, man. And grief has made hasn't changed me, but it's enhanced those qualities in me, man. So when I was looking for that love from my mother that I, affectionately, didn't receive as a child, man. Shout out to my aunt, I love her, but her love language is different, and I'm appreciative of her and the things that she done for me. But I know for me myself as a young man, I needed love. I needed somebody to hug on me. I needed somebody to show me affection, because to me that's what represented love. It still represents love to me to this day. Grief made me seek it even more. Grief makes me a more compassionate person. I care so much about people because I want to give them the love that I didn't receive when I needed it most. In ways, grief has kind of made me a softy when it comes to people, man. I'm never looking to harm people. I'm not confrontational. I take it there if it got to go there, but off the rip, I'm not confrontational, man. I love to love people, man. It's made me love people more, and I'm thankful that grief didn't make me angry. It didn't make me a violent person. I watched documentaries on men in prison earlier last year, man, and I watched a lot of guys that were on death row guys that were incarcerated for 10 plus years, guys that were on life without parole, guys that's in solitary confinement. Like, I watched pretty much every security level of prison documentary that you could watch. And one thing that was synonymous with these people, man, were mother was murdered early. Some of them found their mothers, or they were abused as children. But one of the common denominators is that they lost their parent at an early age. And because of what they saw, because of what they remember, it turned them into a violent person. I'm watching these documentaries, I'm stunned. I'm like, wow, that could have been me. That could have easily have been me. I had anger in my heart as a child. I had resentment that was built up. But my core structure, my core value, instead of looking for anger, I looked for love. And for me, that's what really saved my life. That's the difference between me and the gentlemen that I watched on those documentaries. Well, I wouldn't call them gentlemen. They, you know, but that's what makes me different between myself and those offenders, man. They chose violence. I chose love. So if you see me to this day, if I ain't seen you in years, man, I still treat you like it was the last, like I just saw you last week. Like the last time I saw you was last week. Oh, what's up, man? How you doing, man? What's going on? How you been, man? It's good to see you. I love seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time. I love it. I love seeing my family. I love seeing people that I know. I just love being happy, man. Being happy is something that I chase every day. I'm chasing happiness every day, man. I can't be angry about what happened to my family members. I didn't do it. It's not my fault that it happened either, and I'm not gonna dwell on what a person did. I can't do that. I got to move on. Don't mean I don't care about my family. Don't mean any of that. But who I am, I've become more of a loving person, more of a caring person. So that's who I've become. So yeah. So just thinking about that. No man, it's just it really make you think. Like I all my life I wanted to be loved. all my life, all my life. I found that out about myself. Is that was something that I pursued my entire life is love. That's it. And when it don't look like love, I'm getting away from it. If it don't look like you really got genuine love for me, I'm gone. I'm away from it, man. But part of that too comes with knowing people's love language. What looks like love to them is not necessarily love to you. So you got to work through that. You got to figure out if it's real or not. Like so, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. Grief is a tricky thing to work through, man, for sure. One thing I do want to talk about, because recently I had a coworker come back to work from losing her sister, man, like her intermediate sister, and she came back to work not too long ago, and they just went through the holiday season, man, and the company was able to bless her family with a care package for the holiday season, man. So I thought that was really dope, man. But I couldn't imagine what it felt like for her to have to come back to work and then go through Thanksgiving, go through Christmas, and go through New Year's like without your sister, man. So, man, that's so tough, man. I remember what it was like for me to go back to work after losing my brother. Man, it was I didn't know if I was ever going back. But one day I decided I'm like, well, I'm not gonna hide from this. I'm not gonna hide from it. I'm gonna face it head on. And I went, and it was just getting back into the flow of helping people, man. It was tough, man, because that was the last place I was before I seen my brother the last time. So it wasn't like I was in a different space. I mean that's where I was. So to be there and remember leaving there that last time and making that phone call, man, all of those things came back to me, man. And that's a hard thing to do, man. Getting back up off the canvas and facing life again and doing life again. It takes time to get back to that. And I have brief interactions with her. I'm not sure how she's adjusting or anything like that. She says she's okay on the surface layer, but I know what that okay means. Sometimes I feel I can see her wearing it. That's what I've been able to do my entire life. I'm a very good judge of body language. I can read body language very, very well. And even when somebody's faking something, I can usually tell like what mood they really in. Your body don't lie. That's verbiage that doesn't lie. It's body language. So, I try to talk to her as much as I can and give her space, man. But I can only imagine how that was. I remember how I was. I wanted to be talked to, but I don't talk to me about it. But talk to me about it. Like it's like you don't want to shun people away, but it's like you don't want to let it get too deep to where it's like you and your feelings again. But again, that's something that you can't control, and it's something that's inevitable. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a trigger. It's gonna be a song. It's gonna be something that's gonna make you think about your loved one. Picking up the phone, realizing you can't call them no more, realizing you can't text them no more, still having a text thread in your inbox. You'll be reminded of family at work, and it's like sometimes you may have to take a few extra minutes in the bathroom. Might have to leave the office for lunch that day. Might have to take an early day. Like I just can't do it today. I don't have it. So for anybody that's going back to work, recently went back to work, just went through the holidays, going back to work, I feel like I'm still working myself back after the holidays. It's so much emotion around that time. It's joy, it's sadness. Sometimes it's quiet sadness. Sometimes you can catch yourself in the funk and not know what's going on. Like that's the tough part, man, because you want to identify these things. You want to. I like to make people around me aware so they don't take it personal. Hey, it's not one of those days. From try to be as as forthcoming as I can, but it's not always easy. So shout out to anybody that's coming back this year to work after losing a loved one in the latter part of last year, man, or any part of last year, and you doing this year over. Hopefully you can find your footing, and hopefully you can find a fresh start in 2026, man. Um, but with that being said, man, I'd like to thank you all for coming to Bob's Corner again tonight. This is episode 14. Don't forget, you can always replay the live on Facebook. It's recorded on YouTube as well. Episodes 1 through 14 will be up on YouTube. Episodes 1 through 13 are already on YouTube. This episode will join those as well on YouTube, man. You can check it out at mavmedia.com. Look out for upcoming clips, man. A lot of new things that'll be happening with Bob's Corner this year, man. Again, I thank you all for your continued support, man. And just remember, you are not alone, and we are always here together. Guys, have a good week. See y'all next Wednesday.